Hey, what's good, y'all? We are live. I am Carl, everyone's favorite random go liver on Facebook. I'm here with two gentlemen that y'all probably heard me talk about a whole lot, but you never really met before. This is Mr. Javon Peach, Mr. Richard Bowie. These two gentlemen, they formerly my interns. If y'all, I know y'all have heard me talk about interns for a long time, and now they are actually staff, and so they will be helping me to teach the cyber portion of the cyber business camp today. And so, I want y'all to introduce yourselves, and then we're going to go into, literally exactly what's going into all 50 some odd lessons that we're going to be teaching. So, whoever wants to go first, go ahead first, jump on in now.
Okay. Hello, I'm Javon Peach, as he already introduced me. I used to be an intern under Carl, and now I work under him. Well, I'm part of the staff. I am a college student currently studying cybersecurity, and I will be teaching you guys how to do what we do.
Richard.
Hi, my name is Richard Bowie. I'm also a staff at Learn from a Hacker, and hopefully through this we can just show you how much work we're trying to put into it to make this a quality experience for you. Um, we're working behind the scenes, and it's not easy, but you know, it's a
Yeah.
lot. But we're doing it for you, and we believe in this thing, so we're putting so much work and effort into it. So hopefully you'll get the best experience possible.
Indeed. So now I'm going to jump in. We created out this whole Trello board so that people can see all of what's going into these 9 full days of interactive, lesson planning and stuff like that. So we're just going to talk about it. We've been planning, just kind of getting everything in order as we're getting ready to do this starting next Tuesday. And so we're really excited about it. So, the first day, of course, is the intro. And mind you, this is for people, if you've never, ever, ever done anything like this, if you could turn the computer on, we going to get you right. So, but we have to start off with our waiver and our code of ethics, because the things that you learn, and we'll talk about this from the very beginning, the primary difference between an ethical hacker and an unethical hacker is simply permission. We do what we do with permission of our clients. We hold the keys to the kingdom. We are the ultimate cybersecurity professional because we have to know so much and do so much. So, so what we do is we start off, with our code of ethics, where basically we talk about, and I'm going to that's in this class. See what happened when I, move too fast. But yeah, so basically we start off with our waiver and code of ethics because y'all not gonna get me in trouble. Y'all not gonna get my staff in trouble if y'all use this for evil, not for good. Just to keep it a whole buck. And then we talk about what success means in this class. How to be successful in this class. What things you'll need to do, what things that you'll need to have. Because that's important to start off. We want you to set your expectations so that you can be successful. And then we're going to talk about what is an ethical hacker. We're going to go through exactly what hacking is by definition, where it started, because knowing the history of anything is going to help you to get better at it. How to have that hacker mindset, to deal with the frustration. And, and they don't know the questions I'm going to ask them during this time. But y'all talk to these people about, the different things that can come up, and how important it is to have the right mindset when you're doing this testing, the penetration testing and things like that. So go ahead, jump in, either one of you all.
Oh yeah, trust me. Ooh, you get frustrated. You get frustrated.
Yeah.
And sometimes, like when you're hacking something, it's like I'm so close, I got to do it, and you just want to keep on trying and trying. When sometimes all you need to do is take a step back, take a breather, and try from another angle. Then, with frustration and having the right mindset for this is essential.
Mm-hmm.
And coming from experience, I never expect things to work on the first try nowadays. It's you don't expect success on your first run through. Oftentimes you're gonna make mistakes, and from those mistakes you're gonna get better. We're not demanding perfection. You shouldn't demand perfection from yourself because mistakes are bound to happen. But you need to realize that we want you to learn from those mistakes, and through those mistakes we feel that you'll become a better hacker. You'll become a better, just more knowledgeable in cybersecurity. I'm only here because of mistakes. It's through mistakes that I know how to do everything that I know. And if I was perfect every time through, I mean, it wouldn't be as fun either. Sure, I'd be a perfect hacker, but where's the fun in that?
And there is no such thing as the perfect hacker, to be honest with you. So then as we move forward, we're going to talk about the elements of an ethical hack, from the beginning, from, level setting with your clients. We're going to talk about each step that we're going to be going through over the next 9 days so that you know exactly where you're going. We have our textbook that you'll be able to follow through and learn all of these things, just so you know, what are the elements, what are the things that we're going to be doing. And look, and just a reminder, at the bottom of the screen, you will see you can go to cyberbusinesscamp.com. And if you use the code Hampton1868, you can save 50% off of this lesson. I mean, off of the entire camp. We also do have payment plans available. So continuing with that, then we're going to build your lab. The first day, everybody on the first day will walk away with a fully functional ethical hacking lab. So we're going to, help you build your virtual machines, your Kali Linux piece, your Metasploitable. We're going to show you the labs that we've built that you're going to be hacking and attacking so that you have everything that you need to be successful. We don't give you kiddie stuff. I mean, I know this is, really geared towards, ages 13 and up, but, we're giving you the actual things that we use in the real world. The same thing that you'll see out there, Kali Linux, Metasploitable. We're going to be using Windows boxes, web servers, all of that type of stuff. What is a virtual machine? How does it work? What type of things should you put on there? Then, we're going to show you exactly how to use what's called the Swiss Army knife. Kali Linux is a Swiss Army knife of ethical hacking and hacking in general. It has everything. There are over 600 tools in it that you can use to become better and do what you do. We get Javon is really, really good when it comes to setting up your Kali Linux lab. As you can see, the brother, he's fly. He got his kimono on, his do-rag, and everything's always color coordinated with his brother. So, and we know that when your environment looks good, that you're more successful. So he's really, really good at that. Customizing it, maintaining it, all of those things. And we're even going to give you an appendix that shows all the different tools that you're able to use in Kali Linux. We're going to show you the different tools you can have online, even after this class, so you can go through and do it. And mind you, on the first day, that's 10 entire lessons that we're giving you. You won't find this type of live instruction and training anywhere else. Trust me, I've been looking. You're not going to find it, especially not at this price point. The things that we're giving you cost over $3,000 easily. Then day 2, once you have everything set up, we're actually going to get into what, ethical hacking is. We want to start off with organizing your hack. You're not just throwing things against the wall to make them stick. We're going to show you how to set up your folders, where to put things. Evidence maintenance is very, very important. The same way, chain of custody, making sure that you know where everything you found came from. Information and discovery. That's a lot of fun. That's where you really start to see. I see Javon saying, that's where you really start to see how to find stuff on your client. And go ahead, Javon, since I know you need to comment, go ahead, jump in and talk about it. You can even go through some of the things that we have here on our Trello board where we're planning out our lessons.
So information gathering is a crucial part of hacking. That is when you get all the stuff you need to actually start the process of getting into the target. So when it comes to information gathering, there is a lot of tools. Well, there's a lot of tools you can use in general, but the main tool when it comes to information gathering is Nmap. That is your best friend. And we're going to go through the ups and downs of using Nmap. And of course, knowing what to do with the information you find. That's always the hardest part. You'll have a lot of stuff coming in, and you'll find a lot of things next to seeing, well, what do I do with it? Or how do I know when I found the vulnerability and such? And of course, or keeping things organized and all together, because you want to keep things in one place, all the evidence and stuff you got. You want to be able to assess it, be able to come back to it later. You just, keep things organized in general.
Exactly. And then we move on. Once you've found out what's, like we like to say, what's in the zoo. What does your client have? We can, we'll do some demonstrations in this, so you'll see, because most of us are used to using what's called a GUI interface. Um,
Right.
but we use a lot of command line things. The stuff that some of us old schoolers, if you ever had a DOS prompt, I was trying to explain to them, what a DOS prompt was, and they made me feel really, really old. But we do, a lot of command line scripting in there, and so because most of the time everything's point and click, but no, we're actually going to show you the codes to get in there, to type those things out, so that you know exactly what everything means. We teach you the importance of syntax, because syntax matters completely. And then we're moving on to the vulnerability identification and assessment. So Richard, go ahead and talk about vulnerability identification. And imagine, what you ought to know this, they have no idea that I'm throwing these questions to them, so that's how well they know this stuff. I'm just throwing it to them, and they're jumping in and they're talking about it. So Richard, go ahead and talk to them about vulnerability identification and assessment.
What can I say? It's one of the most important things that we use in order to, hack a person. So, without assessing what a vulnerability is or what vulnerabilities are on a system, we can't do our job. I mean, we could go in blindly, but even then we wouldn't know what works, what wouldn't. So we need to know what vulnerabilities there are in order for us to do our job. So tools like Mmap, which you'll learn later, just Metasploit. What other ones are there? Too many to count. But those are what makes our job possible. It allows us to know, one, what you're vulnerable to, and what we can use against you. So, and it's not a bad idea to see what vulnerabilities you have. So run a vulnerability assessment on yourself, and maybe you'll come up with something that people can use against you. So, Mmap will be your best friend, and we'll make sure that Mmap is your best friend. But Mmap is going to be your best friend.
So, and in doing that, let's talk about what vulnerabilities, what type of vulnerabilities would they expect to see, in these type of scans that we're doing.
Open ports,
Outdated software.
outdated software. That's the biggest one. We find that you're using a outdated software, and we go up and look what vulnerabilities there are in it, and it's that easy. It's that easy. So open ports, outdated software, maybe a outdated OS, because there are plenty of hacks. Like let's say you're on Windows 8 right now. No, wait. Windows 8 doesn't. Wait, does Windows 8 exist? No, Windows XP. Let's just say somehow you're running Windows XP right now. There are so many vulnerabilities that exist out there that I would suggest you switch right now if that's you. But I don't think that's anybody. But there are vulnerabilities for everything that you have, and whether they've been published or whether they're known yet, it doesn't matter. There are vulnerabilities. There are inherent vulnerabilities everywhere. So,
right. And then even as you see, as we move forward, like, we're not only just telling you how to find them, but also manually, as well as with automated tools, because there's so many ways to do this. We want people to know, yes, quote unquote, the hard way, as they like to say, which is the manual way, going in and saying, okay, if this port is open or if this port is filtered, what's sitting on there, going up, looking up the CVE numbers and looking at the different databases that are out there, finding out what software is vulnerable, what is the vulnerability behind that software, because as we said earlier, in the Nmap scan, we've actually identified what's running out there. Like, we can literally see what is running on somebody's network. And so when we see it's running on their network, we go and do, like, this isn't, swordfish, where you sit there and type stuff just happens. Like that's all dramatized. This actually takes time. It takes effort. It takes learning. It takes doing things to get this. So once we move from that piece, that's all on day 2. By that time, just on the second day, you have actually learned how to go into a network, find out what's running, and see what vulnerabilities are there. There are people, there are companies that will pay thousands of dollars just for that much, just for you to tell them what is wrong with their computer, what is wrong with their network, and yes, we're willing to teach young people this because guess what? Other people are teaching their young people this. So why not ours know it? I mean, you think that these, Russian hackers, I ain't trying to get, what I'm saying, find me. But you think they started when they were in their 20s? No. They started as teenagers. We're not holding this back from our people. We're not holding this back from our folks, I mean, I know y'all, and feel free to jump in the comments with any, questions, comments, metaphysical speculations that you may have. Please do. So this is all on day 1 and 2. So then the next day is social engineering. And we call this Richard's social engineering day because he's going to be teaching everything that day, and he's going to talk about, what exactly is social engineering, the different types of ways to do this. The power of social engineering. We're even going to go through some movie clips. Like if you've ever watched Ocean's 8, Rihanna actually does an entire social engineering campaign in front of this person, and when she and is able to actually get into his network, and everything that she does are things that hackers actually do, both ethical and non-ethical hackers do in order to try to penetrate a network. We're gonna show what spear phishing is. We're gonna have specific people, whaling, the big boys. We're gonna look at Catch Me If You Can with Kevin Mitnick. Like he's done some they call him like the grandfather of social engineering. We're gonna show how to do phishing with Black Eye, and Black Eye is basically so if you've ever gotten one of those inboxes, those DMs telling you to click on something because somebody's seen this, that, and the other, and if you go back and look, a couple of days ago, I actually went a live demonstration of one of those phishing attacks. People use Black Eye to set up those pages where you type in your username, type in your password, and you think you're going to the right site, but they've actually gotten all of your information. And so we're going to teach our students how to use that. Again, we're using this for good. We only use these things for when we have permission. This is all about ethical hacking. So on Richard's Social Engineering Day, we're going to go through all of that. And again, people make entire careers just out of social engineering. So everything that we're teaching is career based. This is not, a ticky tack. We're showing, slides all day long. No, everything is hands on. You'll be able to do this stuff with us. Every day is going to have a lab. Every day is going to have an interactive piece to it. Moving on to day 4. But day 4 is going to start in week 2. Is exploitation. Mind you, we have not exploited anything yet. All we've done is gather information. We've gotten usernames, we've gotten passwords, we've looked at networks, we've seen, routers, switches, ports that are open, all of that type of stuff. So then what we do is we're preparing for exploitation. Fellas, just throw, types of exploits. Give me some.
We got password attacks. Let's see.
Yeah, I told you I'm trying
types of password attacks. We got Christmas tree attacks. I think that's what it's called, Christmas tree.
Well, Christmas tree is actually done. Christmas tree is done in Nmap. It's a Christmas tree.
Nmap, okay.
Yeah, you're thinking about rainbow tables that are used for password attacks.
Let's see. Reverse SSH connections. I'm sorry, reverse SSH shells. I get, off the top of that, there's just so many. I mean,
there's FTP, there's RDP, all of that type of stuff. Privilege escalation. So meaning that somebody, if you've ever been on a computer and you've been told you don't have permission to do something, what we teach is how to escalate that permission ethically. Again, everything we're doing is ethical. And even these are things that you can use for yourself. Like even when we do our password attacks, those can be used if you have an old computer that you can't get on anymore. It's like, oh shoot, how do I lost my password? I can't get in it. You just go in and literally in 30 seconds you can get back in your computer. Plain and simple. It's as much as soon as 30 seconds, and the longest it's ever taken me is 15 minutes. So and that's some people have to go buy whole new computers because they think they're locked out. Well, we can get into it relatively quickly. FTP, how to download things from servers that people did not know were even there. We're We didn't even talk about OSINT earlier, but OSINT is one of those huge things where companies have things that are out on the web that they don't know are out there that can be dangerous to them. And when you tell them those things, they're happy to see that that you've helped them and helped other people to get out of it. Then the next day we're going to get into actual web hacking. Everything we've done so far is network based. Now we're moving on to things that are in the World Wide Web. Now, mind you, we're not going to be hacking, public websites. Like we're not going to any of those places like Google, Facebook, none of that. Sally Mae. I know everybody wants to hack Sally Mae. No, we're not hacking Sally Mae. All right. Pay your loans. So maybe somebody forgive them. Keep waiting for that one. But what we want to do is go, with the web hacker. We look at the OWASP top 10, the top 10 vulnerabilities, and we show how to exploit them. Whether it be password attacks, cross-site scripting, SQL injection, where they're using login forms that aren't properly sanitized to actually get into databases and get information from people. We're going through these things step by step by step. Somebody talk about Burp Suite real quick.
Ooh, Burp Suite. That is, when it comes to web hacking, that's like your second best friend. Basically, it helps you get information from sites. Like, say, if I were to open up Google right now, both my computer and the Google server are kind of talking back and forth, sending each other requests to pull up the web page you're seeing based on said request. What Burp Suite is doing is capturing those requests and kind of putting a brief halt in the process. Mm-hmm. So when we get that request back, we kind of pick it apart, see what we can change. Then we send it to Google to get different results. We can do a lot more with Burp Suite. You can do password attacks on websites using Burp Suite or read different information about the site. It's just very, very useful.
Mm-hmm. And it may not seem, talking about it might seem underwhelming, but trust me, when we really go through it with you, you're going to see why you need to start using it ethically, of course, but
ethically. And one thing about what people didn't know, back in the day, and hopefully everybody has fixed this, but people used to use Burp Suite to change prices on websites. Because you're able to actually, in the midst of it, because if they're using post versus get and things like that, in order for the confirmation to happen, you just change a number, and you're able to change different things. Also, long time ago in a land far away, I used Burp Suite when I was using the Black Planet chat room to change my name, so you wouldn't know I was. My BPO heads out there, my rigs. I was in Black Planet College chat in the early 2000s. We used to have a lot of fun with Burp. That's when I first learned about Burp and Burp Suite. But again, all of these things are good. And mind you, this is just day 5. We just made it halfway through, y'all. Day 6, we're doing even more website hacking. We're doing man-in-the-middle attacks where people set traps on websites. And again, it's really about empowerment. This is really empowering, our people again. To help them with the different threats that are out there, because there are so many threats out there. So, we got the man-in-the-middle attack, watering hole attacks, buffer overflow, cryptography, and we're not, where people are able to change, because everything that's stored, even if it's encrypted, there is a way to unencrypt it if it's not properly done. Like if it's not salted, if the hash isn't salted, and we'll talk about salting hashes. We'll talk about what a hash is. Is it, the SHA-64? Because some people use that and they think it's good enough, but it's not. You need to have other things that go into it. DDoS, distributed denial of service. Most of the time, when you see your favorite website is down or company is not working or something like that, it's because it's been what's called DDoSed. And we want to talk about how that happens. We won't go deep into it because we try to avoid doing that as much as possible, even with our own clients. So we'll do that, reading logs, because if you're able to read a log, then you're able to know who's doing what and being able to do what they want to do. And again, Just a reminder, everybody, look at the bottom. This is for our cyber business camp. Please, go click, find out more, send it to somebody you think will be interested in it, because this is really something that we're trying to do. Because again, cybersecurity has what's called a 0% unemployment rate, meaning there are more jobs in cybersecurity than there are people to fulfill them. There are literally 2 jobs for every 1 person to fill them. So please have your students learn this, because it's going to only growing. So by the time they graduate high school, graduate college, what these 2 young men don't know is, like, if they wanted to like get into the field right now, they're 2 steps away. They get 1 certification and apply for 1 job, and they making bread. But I want them to get your degrees though. Still get your degrees, because that's a good thing. But hey, I'm just letting you know you are already marketable with what you're doing. So continuing on, day 7, post exploitation. So what are you doing once you get in there? Mind you, all we've done is exploit. We've gotten in, but post exploitation, that's your money maker. Are you getting files? Are you placing files? Are you downloading things? Are you learning things? Are you taking over? All of that type of stuff. Hiding yourself. Because you really want to know how to do these things without getting caught online. And so you want to learn that type of stuff. Also protecting yourself, because once you start getting into this stuff, what sites to avoid. Like I try to tell you all the time, it is very, very important that you stay off of pornographic and sites with wares. Wares is with people, piracy sites, because those are where the most dangerous things are on the web. Even the quote unquote legal ones still have stuff on the background, because they're targeted very often. So you want to stay off of those things. And the other way to protect yourself, are you using a VPN? Are you daisy chaining so that your IP address is hitting? Like all of those things, we're going to be teaching that. Then day 8 is putting it all together. And on day 8 is we're going to have some fun. We're going to take, everybody in the class, what they've learned, and actually doing it on, hacking our servers, hacking different servers to show that they, to really reiterate what has been taught and what they've learned. And then on day 9 is going to be, closing out. What do we do when we close out? What steps are we taking? Reporting and documentation, because again, as ethical hackers, all of our clients want to know exactly what we did and how we did it, so that they can protect themselves. Because again, it's not just for fun that we do this. We do this because it's to help companies and organizations. I can't give you a list of all of the companies that I've done this type of work for, and how it actually benefits them. Then we're moving on. We're going to, of course, review for the test, because I want everybody to walk away with their certificate in ethical hacking 101, so they can say, hey, look, I know this stuff. And then what to do with all of the information that they have legally, how to find a job. Do they want to get into, bounty hunting? Because there's a lot of money in bounty hunting. Microsoft offers $100,000 per bug bounty that you get, that type of stuff. Any type of questions and answers that they have. And then, of course, the final exam. So, yes, now you see all of what we're going to be doing over those 9 days, those 3 weeks. Again, it's going to be Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Doing a deep dive with this, learning so much from, myself and my team. You're really going to enjoy it. I encourage you, if you know a teen, we're recommending ages 13 and up. But again, if somebody's younger and you think they can handle it, or somebody's older, you think they can handle it. I mean, they've helped me before. And we've taught, people in their 50s, or how to do this stuff. So, I mean, it's here for you if you're able to do it. Again, save 50% right now with our code Hampton 1868. And I do that because I love my school. I got to shout it out. Neither one of these brothers went to Hampton. It's okay. I don't hold it against them. They did what was best for them. But yeah, so just letting you all know that's what we're here to do. Again, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, metaphysical speculations, whatever, feel free to hit us up. Go visit, www.cyberbusinesscamp.com. Save 50% off with code Hampton 1868 this week only. We're going to be starting next week, moving fast. You'll have access to the archive. So even if, your child misses a class, they'll be able to go back and look at it for up to an entire year. There's going to be opportunities to work with myself, work with others. We also have our own bug bounty program where we're going to have, people can make some money hacking our servers just for fun. Actually, not for fun, for money, because I believe in profit. So y'all got anything y'all want to say before we close this out, my brothers?
I'm excited.
Join, please. This is worth it. I'm telling you, the amount of work, the amount of energy alone that Carl is putting into it. Not even factoring me and Davon. The amount of energy Carl is putting in himself makes this worth it. I'm telling you, it's going to be worth it. Please, please do not miss out.
I agree. He is working very hard, and all of us are really putting the effort and work to make sure we teach as many people as we can. So go to the link down below, right there.
right in the bottom, right. So that's it. We'll see y'all on the other side.